Hello! Day 2 of cycling. Today we did a 10k hike with the family. It was not too hard, but it's all feeling in the legs. The Tourmalet yesterday, the run, the hike. But today I'm doing a shorter one. It's called the Luz Ardiden. It should be 13 kilometers with a 7.5% gradient, which is probably the shortest, but not a very easy. So I'm exiting the town, and yeah, today is actually a strange day because it was a bit cloudy in the morning and then very sunny, and then now it actually started to rain a little bit. But yeah, okay, so it's the start of the climb, 13.6 kilometers, and the bike computer says it's 8% average, and it's a lot more stable than the Tourmalet. So, giving an update on the climb yesterday, actually the first about 9 kilometers felt very moderate and not super steep, and then at the end, when the elevation is big, and also when it's yeah, it gets steeper, so it's kind of double hard. But now, yeah, I think I'm just gonna go into the easiest gear, and then I would start climbing. And so on the way back, it was super scary on the part that you could see in the video, but then on the bottom 9 or 10 kilometers it was actually very smooth and going a lot in the straight line, so I allowed the brakes to cool down a bit at the bottom. But I also want to mention that compared to Costa Blanca, which is apparently just a paradise and that's it, the quality of the road is not as good. I mean, they're great, but it's just shaking a bit more. So actually I lost my my bike light on the rear, which was held with a rubber band, which I thought it would break, but it didn't. It was actually a magnet that connected the main part of the light, and I think it was just shaking enough to yeah, for me to lose it. So yeah, I'm already climbing, and this is the one that's supposed to be quite steep all the way through, and then yeah, it would be the same on the descent, which is I'm a little bit worried about the braking, because I'm going to be going easy and slow, so I will be probably braking a lot. What I'm actually happy about is that I'm wearing a base layer, and I'm just gonna also start showing a little bit. So you can see this is the Luz-Saint-Sauveur, the place where we're staying, and yeah, so I'm wearing a base layer that you may be able to see through the jersey. There's some waterfalls. So I think a lot of people are getting the base layers wrong. So there, and another just break. So there's a lot of signs in this area where they're upside down for some reason. I actually don't know what's the reason, and yeah, let me know in the comments if you know. But anyway, so the base layers are advertised as if they're supposed to be cooling us down, and this is not the case right now, and I don't believe that it should be, because the modern jerseys are super thin, and if it's hot, you're just yeah, wearing one jersey, and it's good enough to get the moisture out. So, but where the base layer is good is that taking the moisture out from the skin away and also serving as a second layer. And the second layer actually keeps you warmer. So I think that the base layer, even the thin one like this one, is meant to give you a small option for staying warmer. And what I mean by that is that when you're going uphill, you don't actually need it. So you're unzipping the jersey. But if you have a chance to do long descents, like yesterday, I was descending from the col de Tourmalet for 25 minutes, and yeah, it was quite windy up there. So if it's not super hot, then you actually may enjoy having an additional layer under your jersey, simply so that wind on the descent, when you're going 50, 60, 70k an hour, that it just doesn't affect you as much. So I think that base layer is not for the moment when it's hot. Like if it's just plain hot, you don't need anything, you just wear one layer. But if you have some time where you think it might be cool and you think you might enjoy having a little bit extra, so not a full gilet that would be completely windproof, but just a little bit from the chills of the downhill, this is where there is place for the base layer, I think. And yeah, I don't know, the riding we do, sometimes you just go over the port to another side and it just gets much cooler. But usually, yeah, sometimes it's time for a gilet, but yeah, maybe sometimes you can wear just a base layer. And now it says I have 12 kilometers to go and I'm at altitude of 764 meters, which, yeah, we keep going. So far there's not much views actually, because I was going between the trees, but this is the town where we're staying. Super nice, just in the middle of a few climbs. So the road got wet for the last couple of kilometers, and yeah, I'm not sure how would it be for the descent. Like in Spain, we are very careful with it because there's so little rain that every time that you see water on the road, you just only imagine it mixing with oil and then being just very, very slippery. I think here it should be much better because it should be raining much more frequently. But yeah, so it's still moderately actually warm. It's plus 24 degrees. In some places it feels much cooler, especially near some waterfalls, but then when there's nothing around, it feels just very, very humid, which doesn't make it easier to breathe. But yeah, should be fine. So far it's very nice. It's not super scenic because the whole road actually goes like that between the trees, but it's still very nice. But yeah, I think without the views it could also be okay to have just a road without a climb, but it should be super beautiful at the top, so we'll see about that. 4 kilometers to go, and you can see I'm actually riding right next to a cloud, but right in front, I think it's the col, the top. So I'm not gonna ride through the cloud. I'm just not gonna be able to see anything on the side, but I'm going to be above the cloud. I think maybe it's a pity, but also amazing at the same time, like both. You can see the mountain above the clouds, but you cannot also see the whole picture down. That climb is much easier than the Tourmalet so far. The steeper part was in the beginning. It's not as tall, so the hardest part of the Tourmalet was actually higher than the top of this one. This one finishes a bit over 1700 meters. So yeah, it's a nice one. And the legs are surprisingly feeling okay. So I'm going around 220 watts normalized power, which is about the top of zone 2 for me, and I'm feeling fine. The legs are not hurting, at least the way they did yesterday. So I think the run that I had yesterday morning already got digested, and then on the bike, if you're not pushing too hard, it's not damaging too hard. So yeah, we keep going. And yeah, you can see it's dry here. So the scary part is just the middle bit, but then the top is okay. And usually the top is the scary one because you see the road, but then when it's trees on the both side, I think it's kind of not as scary when there's nothing, although there's no difference. Like falling off the road, it doesn't really matter. If it's going to be 50k an hour before the turn, and if I have to, if I don't manage to brake, then it's actually not that much worse falling off a hill than falling or smashing into a tree, I think. Well, we're enjoying the views. I also want to share my nutrition strategy for these rides. So yesterday I had, for the whole ride of going up the Tourmalet, I had 150 grams of gummy bears, which is about 120 grams of carbs. And yeah, there were the gummy bears from Consum, which is the Spanish supermarket. I think it's something like 80 cents for 150 gram pack. So it's like, 3 gels for the price of a third of the gel. And then today I'm eating this stuff, which is called Boca fruit. It's just, these individually packed, also gummy candy. They are 200 grams for like 2 euros in Mercadona in Spain. So again, super cheap. And if it's candy like that, it's actually a lot easier to travel with. So I wasn't going to take any gels anyway, but taking fructose or maltodextrin, that's too much for me. I think it's too hard logistically because of the boxes or the bags of the powder. So it's much easier to just eat candy that you can find. All the gummy marmalade stuff is just super nice, and and just top up with isotonic drinks to top up electrolytes. So I'm taking like ESO tablets plus plus the gummy bears. Oh wow, so the cloud is actually catching me and following me up. Oh, that is humid. So it's not really raining, but I'm not really also managing to get above the cloud because it's going upwards. So now it's 8%, 7%, and I'm going inside a cloud, and I can't really see the road below where I just was. So kind of nothing behind the turn, which, yeah, a little bit sucks when you're going downhill on a bike. Final kilometer to go. Yeah, it starts to rain, but from a different cloud that is even higher than the one I was passing. So yeah, the idea is to do a quick turnaround and then go back. It looks like the weather can change basically every kilometer. And so the place I'm going, I think it's just this yellow pole at the top, something right there. So right now the rain is okay. It's actually, I can hear it, but I can't really feel it. Although on the road I can see quite big drops. So it's kind of like, it might be a heavy rain, but it's not really heavy. So we'll have to see how it develops. And in the meantime, just 900 meters to go. With my current speed, it should be like maybe 5 minutes. And if the rain gets super strong, then in 5 minutes I can be super wet. But yeah, I'm only worried about the road being safe. Other than that, I don't really care if I'm wet. It's going to be cold descending though, but if the rain stops at some point, then it's also going to be fine to dry up. And it's pretty. I actually have to stop to take a picture. So I think that the brakes would be super loud because it's wet, because I'm going to be using them quite a lot to slow down. They'll heat up like yesterday and they will go crazy loud. And here's the top, the Luz Ardiden station, which is the one, yeah, it's the ski station. It's the finish of some of the Tour de France stages, well, one stage. And I think it's actually, oh, drinking water, that's nice. I actually think it looks more like a Tour de France finish than the Tourmalet, which is, yeah, probably it's a controversial statement, but actually when I rode to the top of the Tourmalet, it looked kind of weird, and I thought maybe I missed it or something, because it's very, yeah, this is a nice parking, so I'm just gonna ride around to see how it looks from this top. But yeah, so the Tourmalet, the top of the Tourmalet doesn't look like a top of the race, because it just passes and then you can go further. So I don't need to reroute. That's the top. Wow, that's the nice place. Okay, it starts to rain, so it's time for me to go down. not really enjoying it. Also this car, I think it's letting me pass because cyclists are usually much faster downhill. But I'm a little bit skeptical that I'm going to be going much faster than this car. And from here, actually, this descent looks very nice. It's not scary, it's not super steep. It's quite manageable from the perspective of not going too fast. This cattle grid. I can't believe someone actually called me on a descent and I couldn't understand what's happening. Yeah, so I'm catching a car. Okay, so it's raining heavier. And I'm not really comfortable going super fast here. I think the fact that the road is wet is not making me as nervous as the fact that it's raining from the top. I'm not sure why. don't really want to be dragging the brakes too much, but I also don't want to be riding faster than what I found really manageable. So I am braking a lot after all. And it's funny because this was a nice uphill section that was dry. So the bike is actually wobbling quite a bit also sometimes. I really don't find it comfortable. I saw I was going about 43 km an hour, and I think this is when I felt it wobbling. Which is, yeah, scary, especially on the west. want to say the braking support is definitely quite good. Interestingly, the sound is coming from the front brake, which is just like that. One, the back one player is quite I'm back in town. It was a very nice ride. Actually, I underestimated it. I thought it would be maybe not as scenic as I thought, but actually the top is very nice. I have a couple of kilometers left to home, and yeah, I think tomorrow will be a new ride. Not yet sure where I'm gonna go, but one of these big Tour de France rides probably. Or also I have Hautacam that I might go, which is towards the national park. I think it's called Victories. So there's actually no Tour de France because this is a national park. But some say it's also amazing. So I'm going to see about that maybe tomorrow, maybe not tomorrow. I still have 3 days where I can ride. Hopefully it's not gonna rain. So yeah, see you later. Like and subscribe, and I hope you saw something